us this morning on the Brand Central podcast, it's me, of course, your host, Mark Hayes, along with the lovely and talented Aurea McGarry, the Emmy Award-winning host and TEDx speaker to be. Aurea, good morning. What a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Mark. It's such a pleasure to see you. Oh my gosh, I have missed you and all my friends during all of this. So great to see you. Mwah.
Great. Yes. Isn't it wonderful to digitally connect? Who knew you could have such great conversations on Zoom?
I know, it's really thrown us into it. I used it and dabbled with it before this, but now it's like there's days I have 5 and 6 Zoom calls and meetings and networking and shows. It's crazy, but I love it because it connects you with people all over the country.
And you sleep well, don't you?
Yes.
Well, awesome.
I actually had to get a screen on my computer, the blue screen, because I was starting to get a little bit of headaches.
Oh yeah, it'll do it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit about, first of all, we're going to be on the TEDx stage together. I'm so excited about that.
I am too.
But tell me a little bit about your journey to TEDx, because our life experiences brought us there. And now we have an idea to share with the world. How awesome is that?
I know. I'm really excited. I'm so honored it's going to be you and me too. So I mean, what are the chances? And neither one of us had anything to do with both of us being on the same stage.
Right.
So it's really, there's something going on here. You know, there's a reason for that. And you have an incredible story, and then I have a story. Everybody has a story, but sometimes you run into people that really have the and then some. You're one of those, and I know I have more than the and then some that I'd like to have. But I'm going to be talking about hope and legacy, because when I was brought up, my dad was a multi-millionaire Greek tycoon, shipping tycoon, all of that stuff. But he was brutally murdered by the mafia when I was 15 years old as a freshman in high school. So I went from millionaire to nothing overnight. And that's when my getting up with my bootstraps and becoming an entrepreneur started right there. You know, I got a job in a restaurant, worked my way through the rest of high school. And little did I know that being a dog walker when I was 11 as an entrepreneur, just to make 50 cents a walk, you know, was a big deal, that was part of my entrepreneur journey. So I really actually been an entrepreneur since I was 11, you know, and then 15 out of absolute necessity, and been one ever since.
Right. Yeah, that is amazing. And you're talking about legacy. And you know, once you start focusing on legacy, of course, now that I'm getting older, I realize how incredibly important it is.
It really is. It really is. And the legacy part happened. Okay, so that happened to me when I was 15. Then fast forward into my 20s, I married a pastor's son, but ended up being very abusive. So I ended up escaping domestic violence after I had my daughter, and we escaped together when she was 4. And that was really hard because I got stalked. And then my mom died of cancer, who was my best friend. We're not done yet. Right before she died, though, the door opened where God never leaves you. Remember that. And I say he never closes the window without opening a greater door. Usually people say it the other way around. And he just opens up greatness. And that gentleman that he introduced me to right before my mom died is my now husband of almost 25 years. You know Brian.
Yes.
And my Prince Charming, who has never said a derogatory word to me, has never screamed at me, never, God forbid, even hit me, never even think of that. But the verbal abuse was horrible in my first marriage. So I wanted somebody to make me laugh and didn't make me cry. And that's what I got the second time, because that's what I expected, and wouldn't settle for less on that note. So, and just when you think on the last note, the part that really started the legacy was 3 years after marrying Brian. I was having chest pains, and 6 doctors in 1 year said I was fine, stop worrying about it, you're fine. I was 37, looked healthy, worked out in the gym. And come to find out, one doctor finally found that I had cancer. And they threw me into open chest surgery the next day to see what kind and all that. And when they woke me up I had tubes coming out of my throat and my chest, said, we have good news and bad news. And you know something's wrong when they say the good news is you have cancer. Can't imagine what the bad news is.
Right.
The bad news was they had to remove all the places that it kind of fell over to. Didn't metastasize, but fell over. So they removed half of both of my lungs, my thymus gland, the lining around my heart, disconnected half my diaphragm, and took out the nerve to my vocal cord, and told me I'd never speak again above a faint whisper. It would be impossible. And that's when it came upon me right there, lying in the gurney, and God really just put it upon my heart to live my life either without my voice, and God was going to show me how to do it. People have it worse. You're in the news, Mark. You know, there's a lot worse stories than that. You know, and I'd rather it me than a child. and or he's going to heal me, and he doesn't need my vocal cord nerve. So it could get better. There's always hope.
Right.
So for about 2 years, I couldn't talk. After it started to come back, still sounded like a chicken. I really felt upon my heart that I needed to tell good stories about good people with the voice I'm not supposed to have. And my heroes are nonprofits. And I never had it before this. It was just like came upon me as an aha moment. Now that I'm not supposed to talk, kick it into the bad news bear that I'll show you, and I'll be the spotlight voice for nonprofits, good stories.
Right.
And because I knew there's enough bad stories on the news, because I love watching the news.
Yeah, you. Every time I hear your story, I'm so amazed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm not complaining about anything. Okay,
There's always somebody that has it worse,
Right.
Really is, really.
So speaking of the nonprofits, I mean, the Live Your Legacy Summit features a lot of those nonprofits, and it has become this empowering event that just moves you. And I've met so many amazing people at your
You were
summit.
great.
Tell me a little bit about how it was born. Well, we know how it was born, but how you put it together, because I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there saying, you know what, I'm passionate about this, that, and the third. How do I put it together?
Well, the good part about me is that I'm not a detailed person when it comes to, if I want to do something, I'm just going to jump in and do it.
Right.
And if it's supposed to be, everything will kind of come together, because once it's in place, I'm detailed, organized, and making it come to life. But I don't wait for all the lights to be green, and I just figure if I get started and everything starts working, it's meant to be. So after my voice started coming back, I just started telling good stories and started a TV show of my own. 22 episodes later, in 1 year, ended up meeting Wes Sargentson. You may remember Wes from met him at a fundraiser, and he says, I have a show for you. And I was like, well, I'm out of money now, but if he wants to do it, he said, I'll put you in a cage with a lion, and tiger, and a bear. And I went, oh my, yes, my dream. Long story short on that one, that's the episode I won the Emmy for. PBS picked it up. They loved it. And if you had asked me a year earlier that I was going to do that, with just doing my little, freebie interviews at the little playhouse here, incoming, no cost, that in 1 year would turn into an Emmy Award. So I tell people, you never know where it's going to end up. Just put one foot in front of the other. Whatever harebrained idea you think you might have might be the next Spanx. That was a harebrained idea.
Right.
Really? Was it? No, we needed that. So whatever you're thinking of, just go for what do you have to lose? And you'll meet people on the way. They'll take you to the next level. So just start. And that from there, it was, I won the Emmy in 2010, and our economy crashed. Right. So there was no sponsors to be found for an independent TV show like mine, even with the awards that I had won. So I met Tori Johnson from Good Morning America, who said, why aren't you doing women's events? Sponsors love being on a stage in a room live with the potential clients and customers. So she actually coached me through designing the Live Your Legacy Summit, and it's been going strong since 2011, and we'll be hosting our 13th, our lucky 13th. Should have been this year, but a couple of delays is happening this year, so we're going to do it September 2021. Awesome. But it just evolved from putting one foot in front of the other, saying, I feel in my spirit, feel in my heart that I need to try this. Try it, because you all want to be those old men and women, whether you're in a nursing home or with your kids, that say, I tried it all. I don't have any regrets. I've succeeded. I failed. That wasn't for me. Oh, but that was. Because you just want to, I want to be like Mark Twain. Right. He says, I want to be totally used up the day I die. Wow. What do you have to lose? That
is amazing. Yeah, exactly. And you've got celebrities coming to take part in it.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, right. But no, Judy Goss is there. Kim Coles is there. I mean,
Jeff Foxworthy came and his family.
Yes.
We had Brenda Cooper. Fun people.
Yes.
I would have never expected that. Like I said, when I started it, you hope and wish it'll become something, but just do, because you never know what'll happen.
Right.
Yeah, but I love the celebrities. They're great. And we honor their charities and local charities here. We even have a legacy award for dogs because of the Great Pyrenees that did 190 visits to nursing homes and hospitals with his foster dad who ended up adopting him. And then he died of cancer. So I did one in memory of the Great Pyrenees Marley, and it's the Marley Award. And now I have a Great Pyrenees because of meeting Marley. So you may just have a dog or a cat or a hamster or a bunny, and you can take them out when we get out of quarantine and bring them to nursing homes and let people just get a smile from petting animals. You don't have to be a big celebrity yourself to put smiles on people's faces, and that's a legacy in itself.
Yes, indeed. That's what it's all about. Aurea, you do such amazing work. Thanks so much for blessing us today with your presence. What a pleasure to talk with you.
My pleasure. Thank you, Mark, for having me. You do amazing work yourself. Honored to know you and be your friend. Can't wait to see you on the TEDx stage.
I know. I'm so excited. So excited. You're going to be awesome. We're going to rock it. It's going to be the memory of a lifetime. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, speaking of memory, we have to memorize it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No.
That's the hardest part.
Awesome. Well, you have a great day and keep on putting those smiles on people's faces.
You too, Mark. Thank you.
Bye.